I'd love to hear from all of you what your favorite induction is. Dave, I'm an induction. Okay. Progressive relaxation. So we all have different ones. There's no right, there's no wrong. I've learned that. What I've started to do is similar to Joni is, I'll explain to them as they close their eyes that mindfulness or being mindful or in the moment is a buzzword these days. We talk about it all the time. And I want to teach you how to be in the moment and how to be mindful, because you can use that at any time. We find that when we're right here in the moment, just like when I'm with a client or you guys are here listening to me, we're not typically, if we're focused on what's going on this moment and what I'm teaching, we're not worried about what's going to happen next hour, and we're not concerned about that flight that we had that got canceled yesterday. We're right here in the moment. And when we're here in the moment, we are not feeling stressed. It's something that I use with my clients when you can bring yourself back. And so what I'm going to do as we start to get relaxed is I'm going to bring you to the moment. And so I'll have them do things like close your eyes, drop into your body, and then feel the weight of your body. So I want them to feel how they're feeling. Notice the temperature of the room, the sounds around you. Obviously, I'm slower. And then to drop into their breathing and feel their breath, the cool air intake into their nostrils, filling their lungs, and as they exhale, the warmth of their breath. And so that is one of the techniques I use, and then a progressive relaxation. Deepeners. Anyone have a favorite deepener that they'd like to share? Stairs? Yeah, that's a good one. Steps to steps on a waterfall. Okay. Double your relaxation. Okay, every time you hear me say the word relax. Okay, count backwards, yep. Yep, I find that the word let go is very effective as a deepener, and then double your relaxation. The sunset. Clearing their mind. Here's one that I love to use is I have a lot of people that will say to me, I've been practicing meditation or trying to do self-hypnosis for years, but I can't seem to calm my mind. And so I have two techniques that I like to teach in how to do that. And that's a simple one is to imagine themselves out in nature, the warm sun on their face, as it moves down their body, relaxing every muscle all the way down to their toes. Imagine up in the beautiful blue sky on a gorgeous summer day, there's some big white fluffy clouds passing by. And as those clouds pass by, they clear your mind of all outside thoughts. And it literally just washes away what's going on here in that conscious mind. So that one's really great with clearing the mind. The other one I like to use with them is to notice their thoughts. See them swirling in their mind, anything that they're holding on to from earlier today, anything they may be holding on to from that may happen later today. Slow the thoughts and let them dissolve down into your body like the soft spring rain. Another deepener that I teach along with self-hypnosis, this is how I teach athletes how to do self-hypnosis. I teach them the zone method. And I learned this zone method because I used hypnobirthing, which is how I got into hypnosis 19 years ago. And with hypnobirthing, it's teaching you how to get yourself into a hypnotic state between every contraction. We call them surges. And they teach us this simple way, and the more we practice it, like I tell my clients, the easier it becomes. And so in between each contraction, we would get ourselves into a hypnotic state so that when the contraction came, we could lay and not move our bodies. And it's literally just using your body as zones. Your head is zone 5, shoulders 4, midsection 3, legs zone 2, feet zone 1. So that's one of my favorite inductions that I use with athletes and many other people also. Deepeners. Okay, this is a fun one. Anyone have a certain technique? Does anyone have any go-to techniques that they want to share with us? Breathing. Anyone use finger to thumb as an anchor? I use that often. Like, that's what I would say one of my big go-tos are, whether it's an athlete or any other client for any other, that finger to thumb is a huge anchor because it's always with them. It's that deep breath. I use it for smoking clients and any others. So yes, the finger to thumb is a big one. Similar to the finger to thumb, sometimes I'll do the squeeze wrist, and sometimes I'll give them an option if they want the finger to thumb or the squeeze wrist. One of my go-tos that I tend to use with a lot of clients is the control room. And the control room is where your consciousness shrinks small enough to travel through the corridors of your body to the control room in your mind. And then in your mind, you see controls, levers, switches, and dials, kind of visualization type thing. And once they step into their control room, they see that there's some knobs or levers or dials that are attracting their attention. I like to use this one with athletes for sure. Sometimes it's a dial that represents, confidence. It depends what we spoke about earlier. Sometimes it's a dial that represents performance anxiety, or maybe it's a healing gauge, and it's something that some injury they're struggling with, or they're a swimmer and their shoulder's bothering them. And what I like to use, one of my favorite ones, and I learned it from my son, and so I said to him one day, what is it that you have that you are so, he was so confident that he never ever thought he would lose. And he would say to me, I have a switch in my mind, and when I'm stepping on the mat, I literally switch the switch and I turn into an apex. And I would say, what is an apex? And he said, I don't really know. I mean, I could probably draw it for you, but it's some creature that I turn into. And he literally had that. He was so mentally tough that he would step on the mat and switch on his switch and turn into an apex. He was no longer Josh Bird. And so I use that with my athletes, is get into the control room of your mind. Notice there's a switch, it's blinking red, it's large, it's life size, and it's off. And anytime you need to turn on that strength and that power and that confidence, your mental toughness, or turn into, I'll ask them what kind of animal, and then I use it for other clients too. So that's one of my favorites.